Hello and welcome to this new, as yet untitled Chef at Home show. Now it's something completely new. I'm going to give it a go. Nobody likes it, nobody watches it. Probably never do it again. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at our ideal 3-course menu for the month of May. We're going to be doing our ideal starter, main course and dessert using all seasonal ingredients and just showing off the best of what this month has to offer. And with that we're going to be finishing off with a very special new addition to Ship Your Sugar On. And to help me out with this video, I'm going to be bringing on my Padawan assistant, my right hand, my Callum. Come on, Callum. I was going to add in class, but I like that.
Don't you worry. Hi guys, welcome all. Now, I know I'm not Jamie Oliver. But I do know how to cook.
Helpful?
So, hopefully, I can offer some assistance.
I hope so. Are you going to be making overly priced sandwiches for shell garages?
Oh yes, yeah.
Brilliant.
But I'm also making Thai green curry without green in it.
So I thought these lovely people would want to know a little bit about you.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, they might. So I've got some icebreaker questions. So I've roughly. Oh, you found the time. So roughly 30 seconds before you walked through the door, I typed in icebreaker questions.
Right.
And I found some. So
these aren't even your questions.
Oh no, these are just pulled from museumhack.com. So we'll see how this goes. What is the largest iceberg you have ever scaled? Hang on. Favourite brand of ice pick? Oh, this is not the icebreaker I meant. Hang on.
What did you get searching?
Icebreaker? I think it meant like actual.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you not check it before you?
I typed in icebreaker questions. It was the first one. This is dying on its arse. Right. So, name?
Steve.
Cheers, Callum. Age?
17.
From?
Uganda.
Sex?
I haven't worked that one out yet.
I would have accepted occasionally, sometimes, or TBC. Favourite colour?
Turquoise.
Favourite chef?
Jamie Oliver. He brings me amusement.
Wrong, it was supposed to be me. Favourite food?
You're a chefy boy. Weirdly, well not weirdly, I think it might actually be that wing kebab that you made me that one time.
Yeah.
That was weirdly good.
We'll have to do that for one of these.
Yeah, that was really good.
What did I just ask you? Favourite food? Worst food?
Anything that will kill me. Seafood.
Yeah, makes sense. You're going to love the starter today.
There's cheese on it.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
If you have a death wish, then yes, but no.
Breast or leg? I'm assuming it means chicken. Or turkey.
Leg, any day. Breast is shocking, it's dry.
But yeah, that's the end of those questions. Everybody knows Callum now. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, correct.
Alright, so the starter for the month of May. I'm going with a potted shrimp or potted prawn, set with a lovely clarified butter, Melba toast, and finishing off with just a little bit of leaves. So we're going to start off by doing the clarified butter. All that really means is it's just a posh way of making it shiny, to be honest. All we're doing is getting the milk solids back out of the butter. So into a pan, big knob of butter, into the pan, and then that's just going to melt down.
Why do you have to use clarified butter?
So if you don't clarify the butter, when it sets in the pot, that we'll get to in a bit, you end up with all the solids and stuff, and it looks, I mean, it can kind of look a little bit like space age marbly sort of effect, but really the finesse of it comes from when it's clarified and it's just a lovely smooth finish. You don't get like odd lumps of essentially fat just getting in the way. So the next thing is we're going to get on with some Melba toast. So there's nothing too tricky about it. It's a very simple thing. There is a quality point that you'll see very soon, which makes all the difference to the end result. But we'll get there. as soon as I've got melted butter. This must have come from like the freezers of Alaska.
The suspense is killing me. How do you know when the butter is ready?
How do I know when the butter's ready?
Yeah.
Well, the big block of hard butter's wet now. Once the butter's about halfway melted, don't like shake the pan or stir it or anything, because as it melts, what you're going to want to happen is that the solids all sink to the bottom. You'll get some rise to the top, as you always will, but you want to try and separate the liquid from the solid as much as possible. It's really helpful, you yawning. One side of toast, flippity flip. Flippity flip.
Flippity flip.
What the fuck am I talking about? Right, so once the butter is melted, this is still going, isn't it? Yeah. Once the butter is melted, I'm going to need to. This is where the clarifying bit comes from. Just make it clearer. So all these fatty, lumpy, solidy bits. Excellent descriptive words there, James. We need to try and get these out as much as possible.
Technical terms.
Oh aye, takes a few minutes to get this done. Don't rush it, take your time with it, because the better you do it, the better the end result's going to be. I don't know if you can pick that up on there, but that's the fat that's just come off, like the milk solids. So that you don't need. So what you've essentially got left now is what's used in a lot of like Asian cuisine and Middle Eastern. It's just essentially you've got ghee. So that, what I was talking about with this Melba toast, there's a quality point where I used to watch my mum and dad do this loads when they were doing their dinner parties and stuff, where what a lot of people will do is, like, they know this bit where you just carve down the middle of the toast. Hello, sir. Shh. Yeah, you just carve down and then just maybe you leave it there, cut it into triangles or fingers or whatever, toast it again, job done. However, what's left here on this crumb part is really bobbly and it won't toast as nice. So, especially if you've got a little bit of frustration in your day, or just feeling a little bit romantic, just rub out these bits and just make, oh, I'm shaking the thing, just make the bread nice and smooth, so that's going to toast and hopefully curl, and then you cut your triangles and then lather, rinse, repeat for the others.
Very pretty.
Was that a smile of approval that you've learned something, or was that you just going like a weird behind camera Yoda?
Well, I have now learned how to make toast with extra steps.
Toast with extra steps, yeah. Hey, this was the height of cuisine in the 70s. Named after Dame Nellie Melba from like the 1910s, 20s, something like that. Onto your tray, which is still rather warm, so use a cloth there. Safety first and all that, you dozy git. Now these will burn if you even look away for a second. It's like that thing in Doctor Who, just don't blink.
You've somehow made toast difficult.
What's really, really cool about Melba toast, right, is that someone made bread. Eons ago, someone made bread. Someone looked at bread and said, "You are not cooked enough," and then grilled it. And then Escoffier came along and went, "You are not grilled enough," and then cut said toast in half to grill it more. But that's the end result. You got nice curved Melba toast. So yeah, if you had that with pate or something, sits nicely in the middle, looks pretty. I've got some Atlantic and some Tiger, but just fill up your pot however generous you feel, depends how much you like your guests, I suppose. What you could do is you could just pour this clarified butter over the prawns, job's a good one. However, just to get a little bit more flavour in it, carefully pour out the butter you separated. Now there's going to be a pool of fat at the bottom of here. There's a pool of milk solids that you don't want. So stop just before they go in. And then we're going to take some herbage. So I've just got some curly parsley. And then that can go in as well. Bit of lemon juice. And this is usually where you find you've got a cut. Yep, there's one. And then pour this herby butter. And this, you have to give it a bit of a wipe just in case you spilt like I have, messy bugger. That'll just sit in the fridge, or if you need it quickly you can put it in the freezer for 10 minutes and just let that set so it's nice and firm. Alright, so now we're going to finish off our starter by just plating up. Now this has been in the fridge for about half an hour it took in the end. Give it a little tap in here. It's nice and set. Hopefully that microphone's picked that up. So we're not going to get too chefy about this. I don't like chefy bollocks as most best of times, especially when I'm just cooking at home. So we're going to be serving this just simply straight on the plate. And get a few bits of our toast. There's a bit of a rule that you serve with. Alright, they serve in odd numbers, so I'm going to go for 5 and be generous. Favourite customers and all that. I've got some nice garden leaves here, a little bit garlic chard, a little bit of pea shoot. Love a pea shoot. I'm just going to dress these. Not going for an oily dressing, just going for a little bit. Lemon juice goes well with the fish. A little bit of salt and pepper. Don't see many people seasoning the leaves, but try it. Makes all world of difference. And then finish that off. Just a nice handful on your plate. If you really want to, twist a lemon on the top. There we are. So, Callum, to continue your trading, my young Padawan, I would like you, because I'm hoping you're up to date with all the Masteclass videos, and you saw that the last one was the thin soup, or the clear soup. I'm going to challenge you to create a thick soup. So we have a bounty of ingredients. Are you nervous?
No.
Are you rigid?
I am... how can I word this? I am... we'll just say I'm excited.
Excited?
I'm excited. I am just as excited as when I went on that dragon slaying hunt.
Dragon slaying hunt?
Yeah, that was very fun.
Okay.
That really got the blood pumping, but thick soup.
Alright, so when I thought you were going to be nervous about this bit and thought you might be a little bit stiff and need to loosen up, you're not stiff, you're stiff.
Oh no, I am stiff.
Excellent. I'm going to leave you to it, because I am about 3 coffees short of being human. So I'm going to crack on, make a brew. I'll leave you to it.
As per James's request, I will be making a thick soup for you guys. Step-by-step guide, showing you how it's done. And he's ran away and hiding. The thick soup that I'll be making for you today is just a simple courgette and rosemary. Best kind of rosemary, obviously, is to be fresh, but dry works just as well. So we'll start off by tailing these courgettes and down the middle. Then just chop it into smaller pieces. Not massively overly important for said size of courgette. As this, don't you run away from me. As this will be getting cooked off shortly. Oh. Excellent. Courgette chopped. Going to be adding in a fair few other things, just little bits of flavour here and there. Start off. Some garlic. Howdy, partner.
How you like?
welcome back. That's what you've left me. Just ran away.
Just enjoying the drink.
Just deserted me. Okay. Just taking the peel. Now, how much garlic you'd like to add is obviously optional, depending on how strong you would like it.
Feel under pressure.
Under pressure.
Dude.
We just got a copyright strike. And you just want to give it a rough chop. And preferably not rough chopping your finger.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah, that usually helps, you know, but...
It's nice to end a dish with the same amount of fingers you started with.
And how many fingers is that?
It depends how you count your thumbs, I guess, but...
I mean, my thumb's out. What do I say about small thumbs?
What?
Can't hold big things.
Well, okay.
As we was doing all of this, getting the pan nice and ripper hot. The reason there is no vegetable oil in the country is because of this man behind the camera has decided what I'll do, I'll wake up and I'll just go and buy out the country's stock of oil. And then he'll go around the country, and then he'll complain because other people are just buying out all the diesel. But here's my onion. Just want to give him just a brief little haircut.
Why is the onion called Bert?
Alright, here's a better question. Why aren't your onions called Bert?
The same reason you don't name the chicken you're about to have for dinner.
Why do you not do that?
No, you weirdo.
Simply, all we're doing is just rough dicing this beautiful Bert. You would never find this in a Jamie Oliver video. Heat. Ironically, I somehow have more chilies in a soup than he does in a curry. Really think about that one, ladies and gentlemen. Really think about that. So oh! Smoke. Good. Not for your lungs though. Don't smoke, kids.
PSA done.
So we're just going to throw a lovely, delicious Bert in. So, all we're doing is just simply tossing Bert, just to grab some lovely colour onto him. Woo! Now, hopefully, if your pan is soft enough, it should only take a few minutes. Just as the onions are coming to its end, throw in his friend. He loves garlic. You don't want to do this too early, because the garlic is a lot smaller. So it's just going to burn a lot quicker. And again, another optional step here is if you do add chilies, or what chilies, or if you heat the seeds in or out. I like some heat. James is probably going to complain at this part, but
no, I agree with you there. You keep the seeds in. There's no point taking them out.
I'm keeping the seeds in because
otherwise, you might as well just chuck in a pepper and have done.
Exactly. And you know you've got a good amount in there when you can just feel it. Because my nostrils are on fire. He's probably looking at me behind this camera thinking, this isn't soup. It's just a weird stir fry without the noodles. But don't you worry, sunshine. What we're doing is just cooking off this vegetable because for whatever reason I've just gone, I don't know names. Not even from Yorkshire. So you sort out some beautiful, lovely stuff. I'm going to reboil the kettle to make a lot of noise. Because
you're just trying to get colour on that.
Yeah, it's getting colour, adding flavour to it, but also it's just to soften them down enough. Jennifer over here can actually cut through it because Jennifer is like she's a little off lately. She's like sometimes she'll go, oh, that didn't work. Sometimes she'll go, oh, I will behave today, but a lot of the time she's just like, you wish.
Gender blend.
So right now I'm just using 2 vegetable stock cubes. As the courgette, remembered.
10 points for Gryffindor.
Oh, beautiful. That's a Harry Potter reference, I think. I don't know, I'm not a Harry Potter boy. Are you a Harry Potter boy?
Yeah, I used to like it as a kid.
Oh, I never liked it as a kid. But also this courgette, it would just be sucking in all of that lovely flavour from Bert that we previously done in the same pan. That's what Bert likes to do.
So why did you take the other veg out before putting that in? Why didn't you just put them all in together?
You see, because there's a method to this. Ideally, in real world, you would fry off the courgette first, but through the magical power of editing, this is being done first.
Fair enough.
Now, these have gotten so incredibly soft at this point that I think Jennifer might like these. It's coming together almost like your potatoes just as you wrap the mash them. As this is happening, a stock, a lovely, lovely, lovely stock, has been brewing. Now, the one thing I have learned over the last 17 years is not to just leave a cup like this just laying around, because James will just come along and he'll go, "Oh, my coffee," and he'll take a swig. Now we're just going to chuck back in.
What have you got in there so far?
So in here, in this lovely, lovely, lovely flavoursome pan, we have got about 50% of the courgettes we started with. Beautiful red chilies. At the moment, we have 3 cloves of garlic that have just been roughly chopped. Now, almost by now would have just extracted all of their flavour out. And we have Bert.
Oh yeah, the onion.
Bert the onion, yes. We're just going to add... Oh, sensual bubbles. It really tickles the knees. I've gone for 2 stock cubes, 1 full mug. What we have here is, apparently, we just went for the extra thick, like, thicker than thick.
I'll be perfectly honest, I got to the shop before they'd actually finished stocking the shelves.
Now we're just adding apparently our clotted cream. Usually you would just use regular cream that's actually liquid. It would just mix straight in, so as of now I'm going to have to just work this in. Just combining all together. So now we're just going to let this come back up to a boil after the cream would have cooled it down. While bringing this up, so we can pop the temperature back up. Now it doesn't matter if the courgette was slightly undercooked earlier, because as of right now, as it's bubbling away, it's just going to keep cooking anyway. Lovely, delicious soup has just been simmering away now for about 5 minutes, you say? Now, this is where Jennifer comes into play. You transfer over without making too much mess, because we've already done that. Look at this bad boy. Season it to taste. Ta-da. It has that wonderful, beautiful green colour to it, just to make it look a little bit pretty. And there you have it, James. Here is your lovely courgette and rosemary soup.
Well, I can smell this from all the way back there, so yeah, let's give this a try. First off, lovely consistency. The chilli kicks in on the break.
Yeah.
I'm going in for a double dip, that's a good sign. Yeah, that's lovely. You have passed this level. So this month's main course, we're going to be doing a lamb fillet with butternut potatoes and a salsa verde. Really nice, light, hot weather dish. Beautifully simple. So, first thing you need to do is, we want this all to be ready at the same time, and to get our new potatoes on. So I've already got my pan of water boiling away here. Now, there's a bit of a rule about when you're cooking anything that's grown from the ground. If it's grown under, you put it in cold water first, and then you bring it to the boil. If it's grown over ground, you put it straight into hot water. New seeds and potatoes break that rule completely, shattered to smithereens. It's all to do with the pores on the vegetables. How we do it? Just going to give them a blanching. Wow, this is rickety. It's like cooking on ship. So all we're going to do is just going to... Or a bus. Oh, we've done that one. We're just going to cut these in half. Flat surface, opens it all up, we're going to cook a lot quicker. Try and weed out any like little eyes or anything on it. Like that one. Just nip the tip. Waste as little as possible. Now they're going to be boiling in there for about 10 minutes probably, just to get them nice and soft. In that time, we're going to look at our lamb. So lamb loin, or might be known it as lamb cannon, lamb fillet. Basically all the same thing. So this is just like your fillet steak, sits underneath where the loin and the spine and everything sits. It's just tucked underneath there. It's not a massively used muscle, so in that sense it doesn't take a lot of cooking. What we're going to do, we're just going to trim off these little ends here because they've just got a little bit of fat and sinew. It's just a connective tissue, it's nothing sinister. And then there's just this little piece here. It's just called the chain. It's like a thin layer of tissue that's just attached at the end. To be fair, butcher's done a pretty good job of taking most of it off, so I'll have to thank him for that later. There's just a couple of little bits that I don't want on there. Nothing particularly harmful about it or anything. Makes it a bit harder to chew. And one thing that I don't quite like about it is that it curls the meat. So if I'm looking at presentation, I want the meat to be in a similar sort of shape to this. With that sinew, it doesn't cooks quicker, so it might like curl the fillet round and you end up with some odd shapes. Pan nice and hot. Splash of oil in there. Don't go mad, we're not deep frying. Just get that really hot. Sealing meats is one of those few things I'll actually do on full blast. Tiny bit of salt. Lamb's quite salty anyway, or I find it anyway, so it doesn't need masses of salt. Probably I'd say a little bit more pepper than salt. I seem to be collecting cloths again.
Oh, what are you up to now?
I'm up to 2.
Ooh.
3.
Oh.
Up to 3.
Oh.
Starting to look like Nelly the Bastard Elephant.
7.
I only really notice I'm doing it at the minute because my apron's getting heavier and heavier. So I can just feel it going down. Once your pan's nice and hot, give it a quick tap just to make sure. Yeah, we got sizzle. Lay the meat in, away from you. So this is gonna, we're just sealing this, we're not fully cooking it on here.
Why do you have to seal it?
So we're sealing it, so one, we're creating a layer of colour, so colour equals flavour, golden rule. And it locks in all those meat juices as well. All the really tasty bits, you don't want those juices to run away and disappear into the pan. You might never get them back. So we're going to give this about a minute each side to get a nice golden brown on it. And we're going to be dropping it into the oven for about 8 or 9 minutes. After that first minute and a half or so, turn it over. Lovely golden brown now on the outside. I'm going to drop that pan down low. We're going to be using it in a bit and try and capture as much of that flavour that's still locked in that pan. And then this meat, just seared on it. Just a nice colour on the outside. I'm going to drop this into the oven now. Hopefully this is cooked and rested by the time I finish messing about with those potatoes. Alright, so now our sauce. Callum, I'd like your assistance on this one please. Sorry, Steve, Jeff, whatever the fuck your name we're going by these days. Sorry for that abrupt cut, but we seem to have had some technical difficulties. So we've had to switch cameras, but hopefully we're back on track now. All you really missed is Callum / Nigel / Jeff / David, whatever hell name you're using at the minute. Wang, fair enough. I don't know why this is a thing. Came over and picked some mint for me.
Keep your enemies guessing.
I've shredded some parsley, and I've chopped up some onion. And you may have missed that amazing top tip about chopping herbs, so I might have to just drop that one in at another time. I'm doing it now. I can say it now.
Oh,
get it? Right. Well, so yeah, what I mentioned before, that when you chop in any sort of like fresh herb or anything, the more you mess with it, the more you stab at it, so don't do any of this rocking stuff. The more you do that, the more flavour you leave in the board, the less goes into what you're making. So, into your diced onion, your diced parsley, loads of shredded mint. Mint and lamb go together like
Nigel of the Queen.
Nigel of the Queen, birds of a feather. Chalk and cheese is opposites, that's not good. Yeah. Whole grain mustard. Half a spoon's worth, that's enough for me. Splash of white wine vinegar, a little bit of acid, works a treat. Rapeseed oil, I prefer this over olive oil because I'm not Jamie Oliver. That's the thing now.
He's learning.
Rapeseed oil, British product, more sustainable. I find it doesn't tin as much, doesn't burn as less, and I just find it a little bit more refreshing on my salads and stuff. So it works as a good cold dressing oil.
Do you have to use white wine vinegar?
Can
be any acids like lemons or?
You could use that, yeah. It wouldn't have as potent effects. Like if you're making this and you're leaving it a couple of days, the acid in the lemon will probably do a lot more damage to the greens and bring those out. Whereas the vinegar I find seems to hold it a lot better. So we've got our onion in there, parsley, mint, whole grain mustard, vinegar and oil. And finish off, good old bit of salt and pepper, chef's best friend. And then we just let that sit now until we need it really. One cool thing the vinegar will do as well, to help soften those onions as well. I'm dropping towels. How many was I wearing? So let's check our potatoes. Yeah, they're nice and soft now. Do I dare ask you to drain some of these off, or is that camera going to break too as soon as you move?
Oh, the last time we didn't end well.
So we've got our blanched potatoes, and then this pan that we kept nice and hot earlier, just been kept on low. That it's still got all that lovely juice from the lamb that came out. Potatoes in. So we're just marrying these flavours now, so the whole dish is going to come together. A little bit of salt, try and encourage them to crisp up a bit. A bit of pepper. Gonna chop these. A little bit more parsley. Just helps season the potatoes. That's enough. Don't want to overdo it. And while they're finishing off, hot in there, we've got our lamb. There's lovely and pink in the middle, somewhere between medium rare, medium. That sort of area. I'm happy with that. And then we're going to wang in here good knob of butter. So the butter's going to go into the pan. It's going to help emulsify the potatoes, give them a nice lovely shine, and as it cooks out it's going to brown to get that nice, call it a burn, was it? Just a brown butter, just an extra depth of flavour to it. As they're approaching the last few minutes, in with your extra bit of herbage. Now, moment of truth, Mr. Larry Lamb. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's a nice temperature in there. I'm just going to carve it. Nice. Happy with that. So it's had a few minutes resting. And don't miss out on the resting, because if you rush it and you just carve straight into it, you're just going to end up with like chewy meat. But if you imagine if you put your hand on something hot and it burns, instant reaction, your hand closes. Over time, you're going to be able to open that hand up. But if you're just trying to carve it like that, it's got tough meat.
For the general viewer at home, how do you know what inside the temperature is?
So there's a few methods. There's the one where you touch your face. I don't really like that one. You shouldn't really be touching your face or touching food. That's, I don't know, it's a bit of a hygiene no-no. Another one is the feel of the meat compared to like on your hands. It's like well done, medium well, medium, so on. And you can feel it there. Or instant visual cue. There's blood coming to the surface. If there's blood coming to the surface during resting, you hit medium rare. If it's clear, you're now in towards the medium, and so on. We are about ready to plate. So we've got our potatoes. We've had a bit of encouragement in the pan. Just get them a bit crisp, get a bit of colour. A little bit of seasoning on them as well. Oh, that's my favourite one so far. Position your lamb. I like to put the end piece underneath. Acts as a bit of a trivet as such. That lamb sat on top of it. And then finish this off. That salsa verde. There we are.
So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make simple but delicious apple and rhubarb crumble. That's off with. I've got some lovely Granny Smith apples. I'm just going to rough dice it into our pan. You want to get some fairly thick chunks in there because the apple will break down as it cooks. So you don't want them too small. Now I have a pack of 6 here that I'm going to use. I like to have a big crumble. Now we have our lovely rhubarb. Then we are also just going to get the ends, just remove them. Just equally rough chopped. Now I like my crumbles to be quite apple heavy compared to anything else, but obviously you guys can be flexible and you can add as much rhubarb apple as you wish. And these are quite big chunks, so I'm just going to half all these. So now I'm just going to throw over some brown sugar, which will just help as this cooks down and all the water is released from the apples. Just mix the sugar which will caramelise, and I've made a mess everywhere. Caramelise and just cause this beautiful syrup to form. I've also just had a thought. I'm also going to give it a little help, dumping over some honey. About medium high. Just give this a little mix in. Make a mess everywhere. Nothing new. Now I'm just going to let this cook out. While that does that, I'm going to now make the crumble top. Mixing bowl. So for crumble top, simply all you need: flour, butter. Only thing you have to remember is that you use half the fat that you use of your flour. Alright, so at the moment I've got the apples and rhubarb just cooking off, some brown sugar and some honey in. I thought the honey halfway through and I went, ooh, honey! Hey. And then I was halfway through doing this until you came up behind me, scared the shit out of me because I didn't know you was coming from behind. You went out that way and then come back that way. Either make something early or someone's breaking in, and I'm not prepared for either. I've got 200 grams of flour to 100 grams of butter. See? They're all done. And simply just rubbing in butter to the flour. Just want to form it all together to form a nice ball. Just break up and crumble. Abracadabra. This is the one.
Smells good from over here, to be honest.
So the apple and rhubarb cook down nicely. The apples have reduced down in size, but not massively, because we did do smaller chunks earlier. And now, just crumbling over, well, the crumble top.
Ah, that's why they call it a crumble.
Then now, just going to dust over some brown sugar. Now, if James read my mind correctly earlier, he would have preheated the oven to 180 degrees. Hey! Great minds think alike.
What's our excuse?
Why are you so warm?
You just put lots of hot things in it.
That's like, you're on a bench.
I think metal conducts.
Does it?
I think so.
That's a little fun fact.
Thanks, guy.
No, I need to learn how to make a crumble. I was get science facts. So these bad boys are just going in the oven at 180 for about 35 to 40 minutes. Should probably get this crumble on. And the crumble has been in for 40 minutes. Smells like my nan's bakery.
Does your nan have a bakery?
No. Okay, so to go with our lovely apple and rhubarb crumble, I'm going to be making crumble glaze. I'm going to start, if I can do my maths correctly, with 250 mils of cream, and into that we're going to go with, over here we have got organic vanilla bean paste. We're going to add to our cream. So while the cream is heating, we're going to take some eggies and we're going to separate the white from the yolks. So for this 250 mils of cream, I'm using 4 eggy yolks, a chunk of sugar to sweeten this bad boy up. Add some corn flour. Don't need too much. Take a whisk. Whisk this all together. So we get a nice, smooth, thick paste. Incorporate all of the corn flour into it. So this cream has been going for about 5 minutes now, and we're just starting to get some bubbles. Don't want to aggressively boil it. And now I'm going to do is just slowly incorporate the hot vanilla cream into the egg mixture. You don't want to just throw it all in. You end up risking just cooking the eggs too much. Just want to add back to the pan. Keep the heat down just a tad. And just cook this out and just allow it to thicken.
So how do you know when it's ready, Callum?
Because it's cooked.
Helpful.
So what you're doing is, once you've added it back to the pan, just cooking it to desired thickness. You like a thick custard, you cook up for a bit longer. If you prefer your custard runnier, you don't have to cook it as long. We've already got the sweetness from the sugar and the vanilla. And this bad boy's ready to plate up. So, lovely crumble. Pineapple tea.
Next up, we have an extra special shit with sugar on. And Callum, I challenge you to one-on-one action.
Sorry.
Not like that. I challenge you to a one-on-one
I've been waiting for
shit
this.
with sugar on. We have a magical chef's hat with random ingredients inside. We will pick 5 ingredients and we will both work from those ingredients. So,
I feel like this has been staged against me.
oh aye. So if you go first, I'll go second, and then we'll see what we got.
Fair enough. Are we like revealing it straight away?
Yeah, read them out, tell the peoples.
Oh, I hope I can read your writing.
Probably not.
Oh, the noodles, the champ pong.
Champ pong. Yeah, I've got no idea what that is. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We have champ pong.
The champ pong. Yeah.
Probably not even pronouncing that.
Oh, 100% not.
We have pork chop. We have a protein. That's usually the hardest bit.
Excellent.
So we've got some sort of noodles and pork chop.
Ooh. We once again have another protein
Ooh.
with the Wagyu beef jerky.
Wagyu beef jerky. Alright, okay. Interesting. Alright, so this is my last pick. I'm kind of hoping for a vegetable of some description.
You did put them in there, right?
Probably not. Rice!
Okay.
So we have beef, pork, whatever champong is, and rice. Please pick a vegetable. If not, all our larder stuff is going to be... Our 5 larder ingredients will be all vegetables. What is it?
And our 5th and final ingredient, marshmallows.
Oh. So we've got beef jerky, pork chop, champong, I'm curious, rice and marshmallow. How are you feeling?
I'm confident.
Do you feel motivated?
Yeah, I'm actually excited for the champ pong because I'm curious about it.
Well, I have something to give you that extra little bit of spice.
A bit of... okay, that should change the game.
Do you know what's in the bag, Callum?
Another bag.
I would like you to acknowledge
Acknowledge?
your reigning, defending, undisputed chef at home champion. I am the champion.
How are you the champion?
I am the champion.
Oh, it's a vacated title. You've not gone up against anybody yet.
No, I've done this several times now. I am the champion.
What is this? Sorry, what is this?
I am the champion. This
You just giving us...
this is our title belt that we will be fighting for.
You hold it upside down.
The most prestigious title belt in all of the world. Bugger your Tyson Furies, your Roman Reignses, your Max Verstappens. The most prestigious, read it, undisputed heavyweight shit with sugar on champion. This is what we're fighting for. The stakes could not be higher.
I'm going home.
So, as your reigning defending undisputed champion, I have the champion's advantage, which means I got second.
How's that champion's advantage?
Because I get more time to think. Potentially Google what champong is.
I know that is,
Now, to be fair, that would be a disqualification. I am an honourable champion. I'm an honourable fighting champion.
An honourable fighting champ, you just gave yourself the title.
How dare you, sir? This is prestigious. This was awarded to me by the good people of recycled bin bags, paper plates, and an old egg box that has been cut up. May the best man win.
Okay, go on then.
Alright, champions time. So, on with that. Put a wok on.
I fancy the bottoms. Thank you, Tom. Into strips.
So, here's the plan. I'm going to take my pork and trim that off. And then my theory is I'm going to make a panna into the eggs. And then, got some lovely breadcrumbs in here. Which are just flicked everywhere. Start this off on the wok. Get a colour going on that.
Eggs. Just in. Noodles and water. was hot. That was very hot.
This champon thing just seems to be noodles. If I can live with noodles. Into soak.
Butter in there. You know what I'm doing with. You don't know what I'm doing with.
Jerky's already in bits, so I'm not going to worry too much about that at the minute.
Cooking it off through the butter. Lovely colour. 5 minutes. Cool, that sounds gone quick.
Got some shallots and some carrots. I think he's going to try to overcomplicate this to try and beat me. So I'm just going to go really simple. If I'm wrong, I'm in the shit.
Oh,
Right.
oh.
So, pork's having a nice bit of colour on it. In the oven.
Off into the butter.
Alright, keep this wok on. It's going to get a little bit of flavouring from the pork fat that's going to be coming out of it. Carrots and shallots. I'll chuck in me jerky stuff as well, why not? Oh,
Beautiful.
can I cheat and just ping that rice?
Yeah, fuck it.
That's starting to take on a little bit of flavour now, so I'm going to go in with my fourth ingredient, a little bit of menage a trois, or mange tout to the rest of the world. Right, that's stir fry. Well, too much salt because I reckon that jerky's going to have a fair kick to it. And go add in my soaked noodles, chuck a lid on that, and the pork. You might live to regret this, but here we go. Toast off these marshmallows. And for my last ingredient, just going to go super sweet and get in some honey. I'm going to season the honey with a little bit of the juice from the stir fry. And what I'm hoping is I can try and at least, if I can't out flavour the guy, I'm going to out present him. So I'm going to carve this now. As I say, can't win the day on the flavour, I'm going to out present him. So we're going to take some of our stir fry, just pop you there, our rice, toasted marshmallows. I don't know why I cooked all 5, but there you go.
Still haven't worked this far out. Or that didn't quite work out how I wanted it to.
And then we're going to take our nice crispy pork, set that over the top, certainly looks like a thing, and then just finish off with a little bit of our sticky honey.
Well, this is my creation. That shit show. God almighty.
There we are. If I haven't returned my title, there has been a huge miscarriage of justice. How do you feel? Still confident?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well,
Okay, so do you want to reveal your dish?
Dying.
Well, to me anyway. And
okay,
see how we're doing.
so the shithousery that went on in this kitchen for like 10 or so minutes.
Oh, come on. Please
Right.
be shit. Please be shit.
I have made for you the quickest bowl of ramen
Now I understand the bowl. I get it. So what have you done?
I was looking for pasta bowls, which would have been better.
Yeah, granted.
Okay, so what we've got is we have the champong, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I just went with noodles.
So at the bottom, so I've cooked off the noodles in some chicken stock.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right. But also using the same water, we're obviously cooking off the eggs, because eggs in ramen is
Yeah, I get that.
wonderful. I then sliced the pork into strips.
Mm-hmm.
And then fried them off like that. 1, to cut down cooking time. 2, because it looks pretty.
I had some thought process there. Go on.
Because that pork chop was not going to cook in 10 minutes.
Oh, no, that was a big boy. That was a big boy.
Literally went, ooh. And then I kind of shit myself when I hit the rice stage. I was like, I've done everything else. Now the rice is like, I thought the marshmallow was going to be the problem. So I ended up just cooking off the rice. Because I think I cooked the pork off in some oil first, but then threw some butter through it, and then I ended up cooking the rice in the same pan.
Smart.
Smoking out all the flavour.
Rice washing. Yeah.
Well, I've seen the pan.
And then fair enough. That's something to look forward to.
Then I got to the marshmallow. My initial plan is I was actually just going to grate it over the top, but that doesn't work.
Fair enough.
It doesn't work.
That tried it. Smart.
It doesn't work. I tried it. It won't go. It smushes up too much, as you can. It kind of almost melts against it. It doesn't work. I've tried it.
It does look like you just put like feta in there though.
Well, that was
kind of a surprise.
That was my kind of thing. I was just went, actually, well, now what I'm going to do is I took it, diced it, and I was like, kind of going down that kind of like either feta or tofu kind of, to trick you into it. And then obviously finished off with some sage on top.
Okay.
Get some brownie points from you.
There's some backstory to the sage.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for mine?
Go on then.
Okay.
No, it's...
So, okay. The marshmallow has stuck to the tea towel, so that's definitely going in the wash. So what I've done is I've coated the pork in panko. I've battered the shit out of it first to get it nice and thin. Coated in panko, fried it in a wok, put that through the oven with the marshmallow. So the marshmallow's nice and toasty. Just cooked off the rice. I didn't do anything magic to that. I'll be perfectly honest, I did fuck all to that. And then in here we've got the fucking noodle thing, and I just stir fried that with some shallots, menage a trois, and some carrots.
Did you open up your Jamie Oliver cookbook for that moment?
Obviously. So I'm googling. And then I've just finished that off with some reduced honey. So I'm hoping that it's just going to be so sweet it's nice. Choose your weapon.
Do it. I feel like there's the same. Or is this one more blunt than the other?
And then we swap. True, yeah.
I'm curious what champong is.
I think it's just a noodle. I think it's probably a brand. We haven't realised. Alright, so honestly, what would you give that? Do you think it works? Say out of 5.
Weirdly works.
It weirdly works.
It weirdly works. It might be the honey. That's kind of like, it takes away the marshmallow. But pork and marshmallow weirdly works.
It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. I found the same thing in there.
It weirdly works.
I'm not sure about the marshmallow and the noodles, but with the pork,
weirdly, I think it's just because of the sweetness of it. Rice, what could have been done?
Yeah, I will take that. Like, I'll be perfectly honest. That just had to get hot. That was my only objective with that.
It just feels like that's one thing, and then that's just. You just had to put it on.
Oh yeah, they're completely divorced. You'll be having 2 Christmases with that dish.
I'm gonna give it 4.
4 out of 5.
It's tough because I'm kind of on that like borderline bit of like in between like 3.75 and 4.
Oh, we're not doing 0.75 for that shit.
But
if it's over 3 to 4. This one, pork's lovely. The yolk, even after sitting for a few minutes, is still nice and soft.
Oh, that was a bitch, that egg.
Similar sort of story here, to be honest. Like, although the rice tastes nice and it's got that flavour from the stock and the noodles, sorry. Right, the two just don't go together. It's like one or the other. But that's just luck of the draw, isn't it? Really. We'd have had rice noodles, maybe. Would have had a chance.
I'm hoping the rice still had a crunch to it, kind of thing, so it wasn't like perfectly cooked. That was kind of the aim.
A little bit, not massively.
Because I obviously fried them off.
Not massively.
Kind of.
I'll take it. Okay, so. Oh. Can't forget.
I feel like there should have been someone else's.
Because I am the champion.
I like judge this.
Well, this is where these lovely people will come in now.
Ah.
So we're going to be pooling comments on YouTube, comments on Facebook, all the things need to comment and vote on who is the winner and who shall be the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of Shit with Sugar on. So,
what was your rank?
Oh, I do apologise. I'm going to give that a 3. And the only thing is, and I understand why you did it, the only thing is a little bit of presentation. By the time we got to it, it's just in a bowl, and that's not your fault. That's because there wasn't a better bowl. You could have chose a plate. But anyway.
Can't be ramming up plate.
Gosh, God. Fucking yeah. It's not ramen. You will decide. It's not easy, shake hands.
It is now.
Alright, so we've got some questions that need answering.
As many people will know, we've just released a new menu, a new summer menu.
Yeah.
Check it out. But the one question about this new menu that we get asked a lot, and I mean a lot, I think every job we turned up to say about everyone's asked, what is the Pharaoh's egg?
Ah, the Pharaoh's egg. Yeah.
Pharaoh's
I
egg.
thought you were going to ask me something else.
No, because I know you have an answer for this, and
Yeah,
I know
so-
you'll be able to explain it to them.
The Pharaoh's egg, it comes from... Well, it comes from something I picked up from my dad, actually. So, many moons ago, there was stuff kicked off in the Middle East. He was in the Air Force, and he was tasked with looking after a dignitary from one of our allies, I believe it was. And it was something that he picked up while he was out there, and it's basically the egg yolk slowly poached in just butter,
Right.
like pure clarified butter, and you use the egg yolk as like a sauce for a dish. That's why it's on our gammon menu on the bistro. Yeah, that's that one. Oh yeah, thanks Rebecca for the question.
Yeah.
That's what they do on the YouTubes. Alright, so a question for you is,
I'll probably not have the answer for it.
Tom says, do you really serve dog on the new bistro menu?
Yes. No. So this is also, funnily enough, another.
This is
question.
what I thought, yeah.
No. This is another question I know we get asked, and there's always a big debates as well, like when we turn up for people. But on our new bistro menu, we have. Now, this is new to me as well, but we have a Scarborough wolf. That I know he's going to be burning eyes into me because I haven't pronounced it right.
Scarborough wolf.
Alright, that's how we say it down here, alright? Give me a break.
Southerner.
And everyone, now I'm assuming it's just a big joke, but the amount of times that people ask, is this just a duck? Are you cooking duck? When in reality, it's just fish and chips.
Yeah,
It's just a simple fish and chips.
It's a catfish. I'm not sure why we started calling it woof. I don't know if it was like it sounded better than meow. That was my current theory. Meow fish didn't sound right, but woof, I don't know. It's just a thing.
Fucking northerners.
And our third and final question comes from.
New person.
Yeah. So do you want to read out the question from Claire? Because I'm perplexed when I saw this.
Ah, this one.
Yeah.
I like the second question after it. Okay, so these are your friends, aren't they?
Yeah, these are friends.
That kind of explains it. But lovely Claire, who I assume I already like from this question, asks, why are penguins portrayed as lovely creatures when they have some depraved sexual activities such as necrophilia?
So we're going to wrap this up. Yeah, I've got nothing, absolutely nothing on that. So we're going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for watching this experiment. And yeah, we'll if people watch it, which I'm hoping some bugger does, we'll be back for our June edition. But until then, ta-ra!